So today I want to talk about Leatherman, some exciting news, really exciting news, and then some news that is not exciting, some sad news and stuff that we really need to talk about. But first of all, let's get the good news out of the way. Let's talk about that. And that is there are several mods for the Leatherman Wave that are really, really neat. And as you can see, we have the first one right here from Backcountry CAD. Ben from Backcountry CAD has made the hammer mod, not only for the Surge, but also for the Leatherman Wave. And this is the outside hammer mod, so you can keep everything that the Leatherman Wave already has and just put this on the outside. So this takes the place of those outside pivot holders. Very ingenious plan right here, very neat. You're able to go ahead and unlock this hammer mod, deploy both your bit driver and then your can opener as well, both of these right here. And then you unlock this and it locks back into place. And then you've got this really nice hammer here on the end. So that is really cool. This comes in around $49. I think it's well worth it. It's I think one of the only one of its kind at the moment that can do all that it does. So really, really neat. Now, I will be honest with you, it is an agonizing process to do this because there are tiny little washers. So set aside a couple hours to get this done. It will take, 10 minutes to do it at first, and then you realize that you might have some wobble in your tools, and then you redo it, and you redo it, and you redo it. I do have a whole long torturous video on how it worked for me for the members only, so you can check that out if you desire. And then on the other side, one of the things I want to remind you of is that Rock Tool sells this S35VN that with a very little bit of modding you can make to fit in your Leatherman Wave. So if you have, for instance, a tool with a broken blade, you can go ahead and get this modded, really nice knife blade right here, and with just a little bit of, I think I had to increase the pivot hole a little bit, and then I had to do a tiny bit of grinding here on the back, just a little bit of adjusting to get to fit in the lock, and there you go, presto, you've got a blade. So make sure to check out Rock Tool, and I think this goes for $30 to $40 the blade. It's not that much, especially when the Leatherman Wave is now $130. It is, yeah, pretty expensive. So, and also I want to remind you, this is the second generation. This does not have the replaceable wire cutters. I like to buy these off eBay. I got this for around $25, and then it's a pretty nice tool where I can upgrade and add all this stuff. Now, when you are putting this back, make sure that all these tools snap back, fit back, there we go. Then you could get the pliers all the way inside. So perhaps one of the other exciting things is for $39, you can get a Wave Alpha set of scissors. This comes from overseas, and they've done an excellent job with this. Let me go ahead and cut some paracord just to let you guys see how good these scissors are. Snip, snip. Yeah, these are good scissors. Probably a little bit better than some of Leatherman's scissors. I don't know if they're necessarily better than the Alpha, but yeah, they are pretty good. Probably better than the Alpha Black Oxide people have complained about. I really do like those scissors. They are very easy to install. You just put them in. That's all there is to it. So very nice mod right there for your Leatherman Wave. And as I mentioned before, these work with the second and third generation. If you have the Leatherman Wave without the wire cutters, all these work. And if you have the ones with the wire cutters, all these work as well. So you can really, really upgrade your Leatherman and make it into almost a mini Surge, essentially. If you break your knife blade, don't worry about it. You can buy some replacements from Rock Tool. The S35VN is definitely a little bit better than a lot of the knife steels out there. So yeah, very nice upgrades for Leatherman. Now, I did a video on Leatherman's latest tool, the Leatherman Opener, and there was a lot of feedback from you guys. Most of it negative, in that, why is Leatherman so stupid to make this bottle opener for essentially fancy guys in suits to think they're cool? That was I think the general gist of things, and I understand why you guys feel that way, because Leatherman make some pretty amazing tools, and then they make this. Yeah, it's comfortable in the pocket. Yes, it has several uses. Yes, I'm sure this is something that would attract the attention of a certain set of people, but this is something you would expect more like Gerber to come out with instead of Leatherman. But that's where we're at. Leatherman is trying to make money wherever they can. This is $10 only if you're a Leatherman member, and if you're not and you can't get free shipping or you haven't bought enough off their website, then this comes up to like $16 with shipping, which is, yeah, that's crazy. That's outrageous. So I know that is one area of contention some of you have with Leatherman lately. I understand that. I'm still holding out hope that they are coming out with their TSA friendly Leatherman keychain multi-tool that we talked about several months ago at a trade show. Someone had mentioned that from Leatherman, so that should be coming out pretty soon, but we'll have to hold our breath and wait for that. Now, the other news is, and I talked about this in a short, and I just want to mention this in a long form video, is that Leatherman prices somewhere, sometime have gone up again, it seems like. They keep creeping up. They are not stopping. I don't know when they will stop. It seems like Leatherman is intent to keep adding $10, $10, $10. And before you know it, I don't know. Some of you in Australia, some of you in other places, say maybe the UK, say, hey, Leathermans are like $200 to $400 over here, which is insane. And unfortunately, yeah, it's looking like they're heading that way here too for even some of these smaller tools. Now, the Leatherman Rebar for the longest time was sort of like a treasure. It was like the tool to get. It was a mini Super Tool 300. You had the plier head. This is, if I remember correctly, this was one of the first plier heads that pioneered with replaceable wire cutters, at least in a small frame. You have this really nice 3D Phillips driver, the saw, the can opener, wire stripper. Now this I got for $25 off of eBay. This does have a broken serrated blade. Not worried about that. For $25, I really got a pretty good deal. Has some rust on this one as well, but I can clean that up. And I actually bought two rebars around the same price, $25. In a little bit, you'll see why that was such a good deal. But this has the nice file, really nice screwdriver, and then a smaller screwdriver, the all and the knife. And yeah, for the price it used to be, it was a really good deal. The roller markings and the tools protected inside. A lot of you have grown to love the Rebar, and a lot of you think this is one of the best tools out there for the money, except it is now $100. Now, from what I remember when I first started this channel several years ago, I think this was $60 to $70. Maybe it was like $59 when I started out this channel, but now it is $99. And that's for the silver and the ones with colors on it. So yeah, that's crazy. Crazy. $100. This is the same price as a Leatherman Wave was. This is more expensive than the Leatherman Curl. I don't know why. So I assume because this is popular, Leatherman decided to up the price on this, hoping that people would not notice. So this is the Leatherman Curl. With this one, you get the scissors, the screwdriver, the awl, bit driver, Leatherman can opener, wire stripper, the nice pliers. Now these tools do not lock. This is meant for, I think, more like the European market. The tools do not lock inside. And then this is a pocket clip that unfortunately, I think I pirated a pocket clip and put one back, and then I think I lost the screws that go with this. So I'll need to work on that. I do have some extra screws, but the file and the knife. Now this one obviously was meant for someone else. This is one I got from eBay for fairly cheap, but $89 on Leatherman's website, and the Rebar is $10 more now. So essentially you have almost a Leatherman Wave And with the rebar, yeah, they're charging even more. This one, I can't remember. It shows that it comes with a pocket clip on Leatherman. It may. Some of these come with the pocket clip holes, just not the pocket clip. But that is pretty crazy that the curl is now cheaper than the rebar. Now, the skeletal is more expensive in this version than the curl as well. What is going on at Leatherman? The skeletal has only a knife, a screwdriver, the pliers, and what they label as this clip, and the bottle opener. It has the pocket clip. That's all it has. So we've got 1, 2, and I guess if you are generous and count this, 3, 4. 4 tools, $99. The curl has all these tools. It's almost a wave. It's $10 cheaper. What on earth? Now, I know people have said the short tools are just as much to make as the longer tools, and that's why they have to charge that money. I guess. I don't know, but still, that seems pretty crazy when you can add the file and the knife and maybe the pocket clip and these ruler markings and the scissors, and yeah, the list just goes on and on. So at this point, the curl is becoming the bargain. I know some other people have said, hey, the curl is really the bargain tool you want to look for, and I'm beginning to think that is true, because all these other tools from Leatherman that we've grown to love are skyrocketing, very, very expensive. Now that's very unfortunate. I do think multi-tools from other companies will begin to fill the vacuum that Leatherman is leaving. Essentially, Leatherman is becoming more of an upscale, like a Rolex or a Land Rover or a Mercedes-Benz, where it's more of a status symbol in the EDC world. It seems like that's what it's becoming. I still really like my Leatherman tools, but it just does give you pause when you think about, do I really want to buy from Leatherman? Or maybe I'll just go ahead and buy a rusted Leatherman and fix it up off of eBay. And that's usually the route that I take to save a lot of money. Let me know what you guys think. This is pretty crazy what Leatherman is doing lately. So I love to see Leatherman innovate, but this continual price raising is getting a little bit old. Let me know your thoughts.